What happened, guys? What happened? Okay, well, honestly, like 2 days ago, I had a really, really bad day, one of my worst days in a while. Been very, very ashamed and embarrassed to admit it. So I pretty much took the last 2 days to build up my courage to actually admit it on camera. Okay, pretty much right after my video, my last video that I posted, I immediately started gorging on a bunch of food, ate a ton the next day as well because I felt bad also. Basically, in the span of like 36 hours, I had about 5,500 calories of food approximately. I sort of lost count at a certain point and I just started, estimating or whatever. But awful day, one of my worst days in quite some time. Really ashamed of that because we had been doing really well for like over a week up until that point, like a week and a half. So I was really embarrassed about this, and that's why I hadn't posted. It happened. I'm gonna move on. The last 2 days actually haven't been bad. So I had about well, let me start from the beginning. Okay, so I had about 8 hours and 15 minutes worth of sleep on average for the last like 3 days, which is actually pretty decent. I'm happy with that. I had about 5 grams well, I did have exactly 5 grams of creatine each of the last 3 days. We got 48 days left until my trip. I don't know if I'm actually gonna lose all the weight before then. It is what it is. I'd like to at least get below 170 by then, in the next 48 days. We'll see. I'll weigh myself again in like a week. Really kind of looking forward to that, honestly. I really want to know where I'm at because I'm not really sure. I feel like I haven't moved much. I don't really know. But I did not run the last 3 days. I've been very, very lazy, unfortunately. Tomorrow I'm also going to be really busy. So the day after that, I'm going to start running again, promise. And also, actually, my chest had been hurting. So that's why I hadn't been running. I forgot about that. That feels better. So that sort of went away like yesterday, I think. So very happy about that. I could have run today, but I was feeling lazy. So I had about 5,500 calories on 294 like 2 days ago. Don't know how much protein I said. As I said, that was a guess. I had about 2,970 calories yesterday, more than I wanted to. As I said, I'm trying to stay under 2,500 calories. I estimate that's around my maintenance. So even if I have a bad day, as long as I don't go above that number, that shouldn't set me back. So I did go a bit above that number yesterday, which is why I didn't make my video because I was embarrassed. So, and I had about 106 grams of protein yesterday as well. Today I did a lot better. I still had a lot of junk food, unfortunately, but I kept it a lot lower. I had about 1,720 calories of food with only 61 grams of protein, which is quite low. I actually only had like half that protein before, but then I noticed that and I was like, okay, let me make a protein shake before I do my video. So that's why I was actually aiming for like 1,500 calories, but then I had a protein shake that brought it a little bit more. So yeah, but yeah, I had like not very much protein the last 3 days, unfortunately. A lot of junk food, but at least, today was a good day. So one day since the last major incident, which was yesterday when I went over 2,500 calories. Tomorrow, I'm going out to eat. I'm going to try and control myself. My goal for tomorrow is going to be under 2,000 calories. I'm going to try and be a little bit more realistic. As you all know, I have a tendency to get really extreme and then kind of screw myself over and then binge on a bunch of food because I'm at such an extreme deficit. So I need to stop that. I need to cut that out. I'm going to try and be a little bit more realistic. Yeah, so really embarrassed. My bad. Okay, my bad. I don't have anyone to blame but myself. I had a lot of my favorite food in the house. So that's a major reason why. Also, a bunch of pizza at work and whatever. People threw a pizza party or whatever, and I was gorging on a bunch of that. Yeah, I still have no one to blame but myself. And luckily, a lot of my favorite food is no longer in the house because I ate it. So at least there's that. There's a silver lining, I guess. But yeah, so like I said, tomorrow, no running. Day after that, I'll run, and then tomorrow, I'm planning on no more than 2,000. That's my goal. As for what I've been doing recently, well, I downloaded Pokemon Fire Red, and I've been playing it. Very nostalgic. I've been really enjoying it. Very addicted to that game. I'm also kind of addicted to collecting Pokemon cards. As it turns out, you can get a ton of cards really cheap on Amazon, like all the common cards, and I don't really care about rarity and all that crap very much. So I just bought a ton of those, and I've been sorting through those. Really, really fun. Complete waste of time, but I'm really enjoying myself, so can't be that much of a waste. You know what I mean? It's been very fun. And then also, you might be wondering what have I been listening to as I spend hours sorting through Pokemon cards by generation. I'm sort of putting them all in order of their Pokedex numbers, so I can have my own like personal Pokedex. Okay, I bought like two huge binders so I can collect. There's like 1,075 Pokemon or 1,025 Pokemon. I'm not gonna collect all of them. I can't catch them all, but I'm sort of I'm trying to get the first generation. I mean, I really like the first gen, but what was I going to say? Oh, You might be wondering what I've been listening to. Well, I've been listening to Warhammer 40K videos. So I've been learning all the Warhammer 40K lore. Super interesting stuff. Apparently, there's like hundreds and hundreds of novels. There's no way I'm gonna read all that, but maybe I'll read a book or two at some point. I've been mainly like listening on different videos on different parts of the lore. Like right now, I'm focusing on trying to learn the Primarchs and their legions and stuff like that. So I'll look up like a Primarch name, and then I'll be like, okay, I kind of know he did this during the Horus Heresy or whatever, so let me learn more about this guy. So I go and I watch a video or two of his, like 30 minutes or so, and then I'll listen to a video or two on like the name of their legion. Like, I'll think like, okay, Lorgar, he's interesting. Let me watch his videos, and then he led the word bearers. Okay, let me look up the word bearer, and that's what I've been doing. So really nerdy stuff recently, but I've been enjoying it because I'm a pretty nerdy guy. If you guys couldn't tell by my haircut or lack thereof. Okay, so your mother is so fat that anytime she falls over, the U.S. Geological Survey has to call in a major incident. Okay, keeping in the theme of the major incidents today. Yesterday was a major incident the day before, but today actually wasn't. That's why we got that one up there, okay? And tomorrow it's going to be a 2 because I'm going to have no more than 2,500 calories tomorrow. Have a nice day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Apologies for my procrastination.